take projection.
Welcome everybody to Taking on Sports. I am TD. That is Greg. Greg, how you doing, bro?
I am pretty good. How are you tonight?
I'm pretty good too. It actually a little warmed up here in Birmingham. You know, it got up to whole 50 degrees today.
It's been. I saw on the weekend it was freezing down there.
Man, it has been cold here the past few
Yeah,
week or so, and I think it's going to drop back down starting tomorrow and stuff. But yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, that time of year, sports slows down a little bit, but big things are on the horizon. Of course, NBA trade deadline coming up, Super Bowl coming up.
Got the
Ro-
Olympics.
yeah,
Here
Olympics
in
about to start here soon. Just had the Royal Rumble. Uh, all kind, college basketball, really starting to heat up. Start talking. You'll
deep in
see,
the conference
yeah,
season.
yeah, you'll start seeing bubble talk, all that coming up. So yeah, kind of almost exciting, even
Yes.
though there's not like action consistently. It's
All
always
right.
like something big around the corner this time of year.
Absolutely.
But let's start Super Bowl. Let's look ahead to the Super Bowl next week. Just real quick, little preview. Um, there's a couple storylines for this too. There's the young gun Drake May versus the journeyman
Mm-hmm.
Sam Darnold finally getting some recognition. Found the right
Right.
spot. You got Mike Vrabel, a coach who's been around, a chance to cement himself as one of the league's best. You got Mike McDonald, young coach in his second season.
Second year.
Yeah, he's out to prove he's more than just the hot new coach.
Yeah.
Actually wants to put a ring on it.
Absolutely.
You got, of course, a rematch from about a decade ago. The infamous Malcolm Butler interception. Should have run Marshawn. Seattle versus New England. Got two teams that won their division, a 1 seed versus a 2 seed. Just a lot of good stuff going on in this Super Bowl. But
Absolutely.
so you lean in any particular way, or how do you feel about New England's chances or versus Seattle's chances? What's your general
I
tone? Yeah.
think honestly, man, I'm leaning Seattle comfortably, and I just think I think that New England defense is pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
but I think their their offense isn't going to give them enough to keep it in like super close. And I think
Interesting.
that the Seahawks defense has been playing that offense has been
Mm-hmm.
putting up numbers, running the ball well, and passing has been great. And the Patriots, they've been okay offensively, but they go through many instances where they stall out, go a quarter or so, not a whole bunch going on, and well, that's not going to work against Seattle.
No, yeah, and he's had he had an MVP caliber season, but of course there's legitimate gripes about the schedule. They did play an easy one. He
Yeah,
hasn't looked great in the playoffs, but he's also
we have that. He threw
first
for like 65 yards in the last game. The
something
stats,
crazy. Yeah,
but
granted,
that
blizzard, yeah,
the weather was trash, but
but he's
it
also
still
what
was a crazy number.
first quarterback in NFL history to beat three straight top five defenses in the playoffs, right? Um,
Yeah, so in a way, it's impressive. I mean, and
mhm.
we also, yeah, I mean, he's still a young guy. I mean, what is this, year two?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, a young guy, he's got, young guys, but he's
Yeah,
got veterans where, he matters. Obviously, Stephon Diggs been around a
yeah,
minute now. His first shot at the big game.
yeah.
Uh, you got, Ramondre Stevenson's been in the league for a good few years now
Right.
there. And then you got some young guys like, Travion Henderson to help out, and he's a guy that's had up and down rookie season, but he's had some big plays and,
Some huge plays at times. Yeah,
yeah, at times. A solid defense. Obviously, Mike Vrabel, the toughness comes to his coach teams. And then,
yeah. It'd be weird if they didn't have a good defense.
exactly, yeah, yeah. It'd be weird if they weren't, a punch you in the mouth type of team.
Yeah,
And then yeah, you got Seattle. Mike McDonald, defensive background, of course, came from the Ravens defensive coordinator, and the season
Yeah.
before he got the Seattle job. The Ravens defense won the Triple Crown. I think what's that?
Yeah.
It's like points, yardage, and turnovers or something. They were first in NFL in all of them, so he had a great unit there. He's turned things around in Seattle. They made a big switch this offseason from Geno Smith into Sam Darnold. A lot of people thought it was a
Yeah.
gamble and a bad one, and they, yeah,
Worked out well.
exactly, they proved to be right. Uh, I mean,
Now the other narrative that really doesn't sit good with Bama fans is that they switched OCs and got way better.
mm, yeah, and there might be something,
Or
maybe,
what's that word? Whatever
yeah.
that's what. But
It's so tough to tell that stuff, and Clint
yeah.
Kubiak is obviously, he's leveraged this. He's going to go coach the Raiders, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, why you would,
I'll
yeah,
start soon, I guess.
rough, rough start there, but if
Yeah.
ownership's patient with them, they could build something. But
That's the thing. They need to get patient
mm,
in Las Vegas because what can you expect?
yeah, because there's a couple, I mean, you got Brock Bowers, you got Ashton Genty, you got
Got some young guys.
Crosby on the other side of the ball if they choose to keep him. And I think I've
Yeah,
said before on here that if I'm the
yeah.
GM over in or
Pardon.
Las Vegas, Oakland, yeah, I'm GM Vegas. I'm saying, you know what, Max, you've played in the league a good number of years. You're a vet now. I'm gonna trade you to somebody that you can go chase a ring because we need to rebuild here,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna get a lot
Mhm.
of picks for you and or maybe some young talent.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so there's and it pretty much almost a lock that it's going to be Fernando Mendoza taking over quarterback there.
You would think so.
But yeah, it's a real interesting game, and I found myself
Yeah.
leaning towards Seattle for kind of the reasons we talked about, particularly the offensive struggles and just another top defense that Drake May's now got to go
Right.
through. But he's also, but then again, it's like look, Sam Darnold has, played great and he's turned it around, but he also
Yeah.
some of the criticism against him are fair, and every now and again he's been liable in a big game to throw a
Yeah.
stinker out there, kind of almost Carson Beck like, not quite that bad, but he might,
Yeah,
um,
I mean, he did have that. What was it? The first time against the Rams, where they still almost won, but he threw what, 4 or 5
hmm
interceptions that
yeah,
day.
it was not a good night for him. Yeah,
And they were still in the game, crazy enough. But yeah, I mean, if you had that type of day, it's not too many times where the game's gonna stay close for you. Or you're gonna, have a late opportunity to win the game. Because that's the one thing. If he does have one of those days, and the Pats get the pick and start off in great field position, and that's gonna be something that'll really keep them in the game. I would say if they can get short fields and good starts for their offense, when they're almost already in field goal type position off of the interception or something, that would be a big difference maker. So yeah, he definitely could. You don't want to see it because I mean I like the Sam Darnold story honestly. So I'm wishing him. I hope he has a great day because I mean of course you know people have seen him now, but nothing's of course bigger than that Super Bowl stage. So of course everybody in the world is gonna be watching. So
but yeah, it is there an X factor you're looking at either way, a player or something, some type of theme for the game that you think is going to play a big difference or is key to the game one way or the other?
I think Seattle. I think we had just talked about it. Kind of that Sam Darnold. He has to be, I guess, we should say good Sam. Can't have bad
Yeah.
Sam. Um, you know, I think the other on the other side is just about having positive drives. Scoring even if it's a field goal. Getting yourself on the board. Um, you know, not going multiple drives without where you don't not moving the ball much. You're punting. Because I think the longer the game goes, if it's close, they're gonna, the young team Drake May's going to build confidence, and eventually, if he stays around long enough, he might strike. So I think that's the big thing for them is keep it close. Have opportunities when they score. To when you get in the across the 50, basically they're going to have to at least get three there. I think that's going to be key for them to keep it close. I don't think it'd be a track meet per se because at that point that's done bode well for the Pats, but I think if their defense, puts them in good spots, and they can, score like that, I think that that's going to be key for them. Consistently moving the ball.
Yeah, no. It was a good point. I myself am looking toward on the Seattle side, Kenneth Walker.
Mhm.
I think he doesn't need to rush for a buck 40 or something like that, but he needs to keep the chains moving, get some big runs here and
Mhm.
there, take
Keep
pressure
it,
off of Sam Darnold.
keep the defense
Yeah, keep
on the
the
foot.
yeah keep give your defense some rest and keep the New England defense tired. Keep Drake May off the
Yeah,
field. I think he'll be key to having, like I said, he doesn't need to be the MVP, but he can't, go out there and, have 13 for 19, something like that. He's got to,
right.
he's got to make some
He's
key
done a
key
lot.
runs. Yeah.
All right, but especially waiting the season, he's gotten a lot better at that. Because there's
Mm-hmm.
times at the start, well, last year and then the start of this year, where it was like, dude, he
Mm-hmm.
would have terrible numbers.
Yeah.
But
Uh, and yeah, and he,
really,
especially since Zach Charbonnet went down, he's stepped up.
yeah,
And I'm not sure if they're gonna get is Charbonnet out or is he?
that's what I was just wondering. I
Yeah,
was
that's
just
actually
wondering
yeah.
that.
But yeah, and then kind of the other side, like you mentioned, I kind of agree with you. I think New England needs to keep control the ball. Um,
Yeah,
don't give that Seattle offense opportunities. Don't make it tough for your young quarterback.
yeah,
I mentioned Travion Henderson's had an up and down rookie year. If he could, get he's a home run threat. If he could bust out, a big run, if he can get one of those, he had a game where he had what, like 275-yard touchdowns, if he can
yeah.
get like a
Crazy.
50,
Yeah,
50 plus yard touchdown run again or a big kick return,
yeah,
like, yeah, that's huge for them to,
yeah.
that they don't need Drake May to hit a big pass, that they don't need that. But yeah, I think it should be an exciting game. I think it'd be a good one. Like I said, I'm with you in that I lean Seattle. I'm not sure. I think it'll be a blowout, but I could see it.
I mean, I just hope it's a great game.
Yeah.
Especially I don't have a dog in the fight, so I want to
Hmm.
see I want to see a entertaining one. But it's weird too because some Super Bowls you're kind of favoring one or the other.
Hmm.
Like the last couple of years, people really started disliking the Chiefs. So there's a lot of people. Oh, I hope the Chiefs lose, and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And this Super Bowl, I mean, I really don't have any disdain for either thing. I mean, Seattle, I mean, they're not my rival, and I've never really had a problem with them. And those that had the issue with the Pats, unless you're a division rival, a fan of like the Bills, the Dolphins, or the Jets. I mean, I don't the disdain for the Patriots is I think gone down quite a lot without Brady and Belichick. So,
Hmm. No, yeah, they're almost a likable team now.
kind of
It just feels
so.
weird, but yeah, it's
So I don't. I mean, it's weird for me 'cause I really don't have a way that I feel. Either way, It's one of those things. I just hope for a good game.
hmm.
If we could get one of those games where you really hate to see somebody lose because they're just going back and forth, or
Hmm.
they're just having a back and forth great game, and comes down to the last drive. That's what I'm hoping for anyway.
Yeah,
Either way,
yeah,
I really don't have a preference per se.
yeah. Right. If this was still, yeah, like you said, the Brady Belichick years, then maybe, yeah, you kind of root against them, especially as a Ravens fan, they were, it was always a
Oh
good
yeah, I play
rivalry.
them all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, played them a load of times. But yeah, now it's kind of like you root for the historical underdog in Seattle, and maybe even
Right.
though they're the favorite in this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be a fun one.
Yeah, I think we have a chance of having a great game.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to ask you, and I heard it on the radio the other day, and I've heard people say it throughout my life and stuff, and I brought it up today on Facebook. When it comes to the Super Bowl, and you got your NFC, AFC, of course. If like let's say I'm a Cowboy fan, you're a Ravens fan, do you give a damn if the AFC wins the Super Bowl?
No, it's just like conference pride in college football, like we talk about. I don't. Those are my rivals. Like, why would I want the
Right.
AFC to win? I've never cared about that,
But have
man.
you hear people are, I want the AFC to win because I'm like, and I think it's even worse in the NFL than like conference because at least your conference in college, like the SEC, it's a big part of your identity. I would
Hmm.
say, in some sense, just because the tradition and stuff. But what's the tradition of the NFC? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I give a damn about
Yeah,
another NFC
it's
in any way?
it's
It's not
arbit.
like we're
Yeah, it's very
yeah,
arbitrary. It's not like even in baseball where they used to be two, so different leagues. Like
right,
the National League, the American League, like that. Like you
right,
said, it's like college where it's part of your identity, and they didn't play interleague baseball
right.
forever, and
And they didn't the switch the pitchers and
yeah, the
yeah,
pitchers hitting in the NL, but not in the AL.
yeah,
They were different, and that I
yeah,
kind of understood to a degree. You would still have your certain teams you wouldn't want to pull
right,
for, but like
right.
that you kind of get. It's like, yeah, man, I hope the NL team wins the series or the All Star game, or
Absolutely.
whatever. But yeah, I'd never
Yeah.
in football. No, I've never really been like, oh, NFC, AFC, because
But I'm just like,
yeah,
what? Yeah, but like it was on some, and they had people calling in, and they're like, yeah, you know, dude was like, I'm a 49er fan, but I'm for Seattle because it's the NFC. I'm like, dude, you're a
nah,
49er fan?
it's a
What are you
division
doing?
rival. Yeah, I would never root for.
I would
Yeah,
hope they lose by 50.
yeah, right. Like,
I'm just like, dude, it's not an NFC team. Like, there's not any connection. At least in college, you have some type of connection with your conference. The
hmm,
SEC or the Big Ten. There's some kind of common bond at some point.
yeah.
But I mean, the NFC. I mean, you have stuff all over the country. Like, there's no, like, why would I care?
No, yeah, I mean, and shit, and it's like I said, it's arbitrary, and they switch side. Like I
Yeah.
mean, like conference realignment happens too, obviously, but
All
I
right.
mean, Seattle was an AFC team when we were growing up.
All right. I mean, the AFC West forever.
Yeah, they didn't switch to the NFC till what? Like, were we in college when that happened? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, somewhere
I know
because
it wasn't too much before they went to that Super Bowl and played Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's right. Yeah, it was. It was like right before that.
No,
Because yeah, when I swear when Sean Alexander first was drafted there, they were still in the AFC, so he played in
I
both.
bet they
Yeah,
were.
so
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, but I hear that and people say, I'm going for that because I'm like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't.
yeah,
Not yeah, never been
yeah,
a
yeah,
thing for me. Yeah, but
yeah.
yeah. Hope is always it's a good game. Hope halftime shows should be fun. And it's at least a good laugh for all the people it's making mad for
Yeah.
just
I
all
mean,
the stupid reasons.
I think that's the best. I think that's the best part of it. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
honestly, he seems to be a cool dude. I mean, I liked him on Have you seen what's the name too? He's pretty funny on that. On and plus, I mean, you got to think about it. This man is also
Hmm.
he's been a professional wrestler before,
I was about
so
to say
he,
he did good on WWE
yeah,
when he
he
had his little
actually was pretty
spot.
impressive there with Damian Priest wrestle him
Yeah.
and in Puerto Rico. So
Yeah, you could tell he actually trained, and he's been good on Saturday
yeah,
Night Live. I enjoy when
yeah,
he's on there. He's funny.
he's a
Yeah,
funny dude.
he's been in a couple movies, or he's
He was
been
in
all
Happy
right.
Gilmore too. He was pretty funny as the he became his caddy.
Oh, really? I actually hadn't watched that
Yeah.
yet. Still, he was good in what was that Brad Pitt movie, Bullet Train?
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of a fun movie. He played a small role in that. But yeah, yeah, it like you said, part of the best reasons just all the dumbasses it's pissing off,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you kind of hope it's not the case anymore. They're just not as a big deal as they used to be. But man, you always
The
hope for at least
commercials.
a couple good
Yeah.
commercials. Yeah,
Yeah, I think social media has kind of ruined that because people are, oh, you see the commercials the day
Yeah,
before. It's like, what?
yeah, it was
Yeah. That used to be a highlight, big event just for the commercial, even if you didn't give a damn about football.
yeah, it was so funny because it would be like people would go to the bathroom during the game. And then, they're like, oh, I got to get back. Can't miss a commercial. I mean, they were such a huge deal. And
Yeah, it's
like
weird. I'll be like, what?
you'd see the biggest, the big summer movie trailers would drop during the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, it's, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Moving on here. Let's see next. Let's go NBA. How about NBA next? Switch it up. Trade deadline approaching on Thursday, and the big news is that Giannis might actually
what's going
be
on?
might actually move. Once thought that he looked like he was the guy that would just stay in
I
Milwaukee,
mean,
but
he
now
conveniently got hurt, and then so
mhm.
wait a minute.
Yeah, now it's looking, it looks like the favorites are Minnesota, the Warriors, the Knicks, and the Heat, from what I've seen, and the
I wonder what they have to give up.
everything.
Actually,
Yeah,
that's
it's been a lot, and a lot of what I've seen is saying that Minnesota is being the most
the
aggressive
front
so
runner.
far, and I
I
mean
saw
how
that.
him
What would
and
they have to give up?
I know, right? But him and Ant, man, that's an enticing pairing
That's
right there.
crazy. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and just so crazy. The Knicks, it's kind of crazy right now because there's talks that
What?
Carl Anthony Towns could already be going the other way.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, but
some
that's an interesting thing. Is the other side of what do you give up to get a guy like Giannis mid-season there?
hmm
Because my thing is, yeah, he's an excellent player, but I mean, if you let's say you're a contender, you have your pieces, people that used to playing, and then they do a certain job and then they're gone. Kind sometimes trades are great, and then other times it messes up the chemistry completely. I don't know if that's the case. And I think Giannis will probably be fine wherever he goes, but sometimes it's weird. Just some people fit right in, others don't quite fall into the what you think they might with these trades.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
But I would definitely say it's time to. It just, it's kind of been disappointing in Milwaukee after they won the title. I thought, oh, they tried a lot of different stuff, but nothing really worked per se. But I really thought, they did everybody a disservice when they brought Doc. When we talked about when they brought Doc Rivers in as a coach,
Yeah,
like what, like that kind of really killed it.
yeah, it kind of sent things backwards, and then didn't really
They
do.
were, I mean, they were doing fine. I thought. I mean, I didn't see the what the problem, but
Yeah, and
well,
then I think a lot of it's on some roster construction too.
yeah,
Um, I think they didn't do enough to bridge a gap between their, the older guys, because they had, Drew Holiday and
yeah,
Chris Middleton and guys that were, hurt and aging, and
right,
they didn't really do enough to get younger there. They kind of made
yeah.
it, swap some picks and stuff
It
with.
was crazy though with Chris Middleton for a while. I mean, he's playing like 35 games, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, it was rough there, and then
Well, he was giving you good moments when he played, but when was he playing? Yeah. But what does that do for Milwaukee if they don't have Giannis anymore? They're really gonna fall off the map, I would
yeah, man,
think.
and if they can get the bevy of picks and rebuild around that, or if they can get a young guy
Yeah.
and rebuild around him, then you
But
got
that's the
something.
one
But
thing. At least, yeah, I would definitely get. I think I'm gonna go with the picks because there's definitely some freshmen this year that man,
yeah, man,
you
if it's
have some
yeah,
real difference makers.
if you can luck into a top five pick and get one of
And get
a Boozer, a
Kansas
Devonta,
dude or
yeah,
Boozer or BYU or
Yeah.
just a plethora. The dude at Illinois, I had
Noah
there's some
Williamson. I mean, no, just
talent.
kidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But man, there's some definite talent. This might, and it might arguably one of the better freshman classes in a while as far as just star power.
hmm Yeah, it's absolutely a great class, a great draft coming up.
You would
So
have to think no NIL is going to keep those fly like Boozer and due to
mm,
BYU or Kansas. There's
no,
nothing they're going to keeping
no,
them.
and they don't need to stay more than a year.
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't.
all right, they're ready
Uh,
to go.
yeah.
He's going to be better than his dad,
hmm
Boozer is.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he might not. He won't have the college career he had because obviously the times and how long you
Yeah.
stay. But yeah, he'll be a better pro, I think, rather
His
quickly.
offense is
Oh,
already better than his
yeah,
dad's.
yeah, immensely better. But yeah, so yeah, that's the storyline of the week. Like I said, Thursday the deadline approaches
Yeah.
in NBA. We haven't had any since the Trey
Yeah,
Young
small.
trade. Yeah, it has some small stuff, but since the Trey Young one, haven't had a big name.
A
So I
blockbuster.
wonder if
Yeah.
that'll heat up this week. If not just Giannis, but John Morant's out there, AD's out there, a bunch of injured guys.
Yeah.
But you wonder if they could be on the
Yeah.
move
Interesting.
and
Absolutely.
yeah, what happens there. But let's stay on the hardwood. But let's go to college game. Our boys and girls in crimson, both of them had mixed weeks. Good
Yes.
midweek wins. The guys beat Missouri. Ladies
Handily.
ladies won at handily. Ladies won a good one at Georgia, and then
Pretty impressive. Yeah.
yeah, pretty
And then
impressive.
Sunday happened.
Yeah, and
And
then
then Sunday
Sunday
happened.
happened, and it was rough for both. The
Good
ladies,
God.
a 40-point loss in Baton Rouge, and the guys, a 23-point loss in
Man, it could have been worse.
Gainesville. And it's followed the same script as the past few games against Florida has
Dude,
gone.
yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it
Mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
it's kind of a good game, most of the first half, and then Florida went on a little run to end the half, and then that was ball game. It was just done.
It's exactly that. That's most of the first half is good. You get it's competitive. You get the announcer saying stuff like, "Oh, this is a heavyweight fight between two teams,"
Yeah,
and then Florida goes on that little run, creates some space, about a 10-point cushion, and you go to
yeah,
halftime. And you're like, "Well, I don't, if we can
yeah.
come out hot and get back
And
in
we
it," and then
didn't
nope,
at
and yeah,
all.
and Florida just shuts the door, and this it was. They
It
backed
was
up Golden.
bad.
They backed up
Yeah,
their coach's words, saying it
yeah.
didn't matter about
We're
Chuck.
gonna win.
They
Yeah,
made the guys look like they quit, and
yeah, and that's
mhm.
kind of but the most the I guess the worst part about it was it was really overall this season we've done a much better job of not turning the ball over. We've been way less sloppy.
And that was the
But
story of this game. What was it, 18-2 or something, 18 to
yeah,
one? Yeah,
yeah.
because
We had a boatload of turnovers, and we've done much better this year at not
mhm.
turning the ball over.
Yeah, and it was
So that
just
was kind of disappointing.
it was just a bad game against a team that gives us fits because of their size and length, and it's pretty apparent they need to get better on the inside, and I think it raises some questions about maybe how Nate Oates and whoever else is responsible kind of maybe missed a little bit on in the portal and on their roster construction for this season because
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, you talk about Chuck Biediaco, but man, we almost need like a Noah Clowney type, like a
yeah.
big rim protector, guy that sits your pick and rolls. I mean, Chuck's great at pick and
Uh-huh.
rolls, but
But then
big
also has a little
strong.
outside.
Yeah, you need a
Yeah,
big strong big man, and we just don't have that. And
no.
what's his face down there in the block, Aiden Sherrill. Has flashes of it, but he's just not.
He's not there quite. He's not there
Yeah,
yet.
that's not his
He's
game.
consistent.
Yeah.
He's not consistently there. He's not a bruiser. He's not. He's just
hmm
not his style. I mean, we got killed on the boards, and man, they had what almost 60 points in the paint. It was
Yeah, it was
ridiculous.
ridiculous. Their fast break points, vast difference in that.
Yeah.
It was just, like I said,
And
same
of course,
story of the past few games we've
and
seen
they,
against them.
and they did a really good job. The transfer from Arkansas, I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, yeah.
Boogie. Uh, he did a hell of a job guarding Phylon. That's the worst he's looked all season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, he
14. He looked rushed. He looked out of his game all day. Like, oh, it was bad.
yeah, you could tell they frustrate him. Like I said, it seemed
Oh,
like they
no.
quit, and
Yeah,
uh,
the last 10 minutes, it seemed like we just didn't care, and then well, it's over.
yeah, and
Uh,
we talked about that quote from Nate Oates earlier in the year after I think the Texas loss, where he's like, we just got too many guys that are okay with losing, and that's part on him, and he
mm,
acknowledges that. But you can't make guys give a fuck at the end of the day, and yeah, we
yeah.
we need somebody on this team that gets pissed off when we lose. You need that.
Yeah, I don't think we. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. We don't have
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
someone that really gets on because coaches can get on you all day, but you need a player.
Yeah.
That's really what sets a tone. Is someone on the team doing the same job that you do that really sets a tone. And we've had that. Mark Sears was kind of
Hmm.
that dude. The last couple of years, and we really don't have many. Leader because of course our best player is just a sophomore himself. So I mean, I don't even know if he feels like he's
Hmm.
um, um yeah. So there's really no one to yeah. I,
Yeah,
and
you
the
need
thing is,
those. Yeah, like you said, you need those. Mark Sears types, that kind of Herb Jones type. He was like that. That kind of the Malachi Moore and football type. You need those guys
yeah,
that really do believe in
set the
the
set the
that.
tone.
Yeah, they believe in the crimson and white, believe in that name Alabama across their chest. And
Absolutely, and they love it.
yeah,
But
and
yeah, I don't know that we necessarily have that this year. And but again, I going to Gainesville, I did not expect to win that game. I was hoping for
hmm
a little better performance, of course, but I mean, I wasn't overly shocked that we lost. I guess disappointing how we lost because it was worse than even what it has been. Because I mean, it could probably been worse than what it was.
oh,
And,
absolutely, yeah,
and,
it could have been
and
like the
then
ladies' game. It could have been a 40-point win.
the insult to injury, boy. Then the crowd had a field day with Chuck Bitty.
Oh yeah, yeah. The G League dropout was the big
Yeah,
popular one. Kind
yeah,
of funny, but
well,
it's like whatever.
yeah. They had a field day with that. My thing, but you know what? My overall thing with this whole thing is how outraged people really are about this. Like the last 10 minutes of the damn game, like Dick Vitale and them, they were annoying as shit. I had to mute the game and just kind of watch it on silent
Hmm.
because they were just that's all they talked about was the whole thing for like the last 10 minutes, and I'm like, come on.
And
Like,
and you know what? It's gonna sound like a arrogant Alabama fan thing to say, but there was not this level of outrage over the dude at Baylor or any
no,
of these guys
just
that
because
played
Kentucky might
pro
be
and
better than them
yeah,
because he's
right.
actually making a difference. I mean, he didn't have a good game against Florida, but I mean before that he had been putting up 14. He was
Hmm.
putting up points, so it's just it's just some with Alabama. I think a lot of and I think some of it too comes from the football dominance and just carries over to
Hmm. Oh,
basketball
for sure, and
because there's definitely can't be that much disdain for Alabama basketball
hmm
honestly throughout the country.
no, yeah. I think there might be a little for Nate Oates on some corners, but yeah, in general, like when we made the Final Four run the other, we were kind of a Cinderella of sorts.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think people,
we,
it's an exciting brand of
people,
basketball. Yeah.
but
But no, yeah,
and then
it's go ahead.
the worst part about that whole situation is you know, coaches giving their opinions and analysts giving their opinion, but Bruce Pearl coming out and saying that that we should have to give up games because of
Yeah,
this check.
Bruce
Like,
Pearl
out of all
of
people,
all
out
people,
of
Bruce Pearl.
all
Yeah,
people, what are we doing?
yeah,
Who is letting Bruce Pearl say like without question, like, are you sure you're the right
yeah,
right guy to be the moral? It's like on the like what's the name has gotten all high and mighty moral on college football. Urban Meyer when he's like, this is
yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. They did to get Are you are you are you
You,
the right guy to be the
you
morality
serious?
police?
Yeah, right. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
But yeah, there was not this outrage over the guy Baylor or any of these European pros that come. You know, some
but
people are like,
it's
well, they
not.
never played college. It doesn't matter. They're still professionals, and they were more at a higher level and played more games than Chuck too. And you can't get mad
Absolutely.
at a team for trying to better
What
themselves
was it?
by taking advantage of the loophole. Get mad at the NCAA
Yeah.
because they dragged their ass on this shit years ago after the Ed O'Bannon initial trial over 10 years ago
Yeah.
now, and they didn't put a plan into place to handle this kind of stuff. They could have
But, yeah.
easily put
But,
something into place to handle
right.
NIL, to handle transfers, eligibility, all of that.
Yeah. But the things that I'll say about it too, though, is A, he was a need for the team. B,
Hmm.
within the system, it's legal whether you like it or not.
Hmm.
C, he's not taking away from anybody else's, having an opportunity.
No,
So
yeah,
I
there
have
was
no
an open roster spot. He's not
problem.
taking some high school kid's opportunity. He's not. We
Yeah.
had an open roster spot,
Right.
so he's gone
And
after
and
this year.
obviously, it
Yeah.
hasn't changed our. For it's not like we've been blowing people out since and took us to a different level. But I mean, it'd be interesting what the ruling is this week. But that's our main thing
Mm.
overall for me is just frustrating that in these games against certain size. It's Florida last year, Duke last year, Florida again. Those teams that are bigger than us, we
Hmm.
keep on having the same exact game plans, the same exact problem. We don't change what we do.
Yeah,
Obviously, against
yeah.
other teams, you have to come differently because we don't have the same size guys to for that. Like if the three's not falling, like we got to switch something up. We can't keep doing the same stuff.
Well, it's not even just if the three's not falling. We
Right.
weren't bad from three this weekend,
Yeah.
but you have to have one of those like crazy games, like beat the
Yeah.
BYU game tournament or that
Yeah.
LSU game years ago that really cemented the Nate Oates Alabama era.
Yeah.
We dropped what 23 3-pointers on LSU.
Yeah.
Like you have to have one of those crazy games where we hit like 18 3-pointers, 19, you get close to 20,
Right.
and like we're just shooting the lights out and we're running and we're causing turnovers on defense. And yeah, it just doesn't happen against like you said, Florida, the Duke, Tennessee. They're even though they're a little different there, but
But I mean, at least we stay. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
moral victory. I mean, we stay with Tennessee, and there's plenty
yeah,
of time we should have beaten Tennessee in the last couple.
yeah,
So that's a different thing. But I mean, Florida. I mean, we just get like it's ugly. It's
yeah,
not even fun to watch. Man, about 10 minutes left. I'm ready to turn that was ready to turn that bad boy off yesterday.
yeah. It
Like,
was yeah. It's like yeah. Once the second half started rolling, I was doing other stuff around the house. I was like, all right, well, yeah, we can make a
yeah,
grocery
yeah,
list, go
you
grocery
know.
shopping. Like,
And on the women's side, great win on Thursday over, in Athens against a ranked team that had been playing really good ball. The hell of a job Thursday, and then we just got ran into a
whew,
buzzsaw. That LSU's been playing since they started off 0-2 in the SEC. They've really turned the
they
page,
just
but they
whooping.
took it to a different. They were shot the lights out, like they
Yeah,
were on fire.
yeah, that was a
Uh,
little
we
maybe
were,
maybe payback for beating them last season. I don't know.
yeah, and then some. But definitely, yeah, the LSU. They played Texas this week on Thursday. That might be a great game to watch if you're, like SEC women's basketball. I mean, yeah, they definitely showed that. And I think what we found out now with Alabama basketball, on the women's side at least we're to that second tier.
Hmm.
We've beaten other ranked teams. We've beaten Kentucky, we've beaten Georgia. Kind of that you're good, you're not, but we're on the second tier now where we can contend with most everybody. But that upper echelon tier, the South Carolinas, the Texas, LSU, we're, we're just not there yet.
No, yeah,
And we saw that on New Year's against South Carolina, and we definitely saw it yesterday. We're just not quite there. But overall, I think we'll be okay. I mean, on the women's side, they just got to win games that they're supposed to win. You can't lose the Auburns of the world anymore.
Yeah,
But
no.
I just want to, mainly with the women, I just want to see them get to the second weekend.
Yeah, no, let's take
It's
that
been
next
forever.
step. It's time to take
But
that next step in the program there.
and then on the men's side, I mean, we got a important week after Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
After the man Bucky ball coming to town on Wednesday, and then going to the
Mm-hmm.
Plains.
Yeah, the SEC leaders in Texas A&M, like you said, Bucky Ball
Yeah.
coming to Tuscaloosa, and then at the barn on Saturday,
So I mean,
the first edition of the Iron Bowl of basketball. Of course, last year's game there was ended really great if you wore
phenomenal.
crimson. Yeah, the Mark Sears buzzer beater. Oh, oh, did that slip? So, watching
Yeah,
a
dude,
Texas
right?
Tech Kansas game.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little runner in the lane there did not.
yeah, but
Yeah, and then on the women's
good
side,
big week there because I mean,
mhm,
the thing is, we can easily win those two. We can easily lose those two, and oof,
yeah,
we're already down to the on the 6 line now.
yeah, and
So
on the other side, you got the first time the men haven't been ranked in 2 years now.
yeah,
On the women's side, they host number 13 Ole Miss on Thursday. So a big one there in conference,
that's a
and then they
huge,
got
big one.
they go to College Station to play A&M Saturday. A game they should win. A&M is not good on the
They're not
women's side
great.
of
Yeah.
things. Yeah, a 1-8 SEC record right
So
now.
hopefully, they can both programs bounce back this week.
And the
But
women, the
man,
women need it. They need the big ranked win at home, and then take care of business against the team they should beat. Because the week after next is big for the girls. They play, they host both Oklahoma and then South Carolina. So,
and that's how, yeah, South Carolina slaughtered us. So hopefully in Tuscaloosa it'll be a little different. That
it's
OU team,
yeah, it is a rough finish for the girls after this week.
yeah,
You
after the
got
first, but that's the SEC for you there. Um, SEC women's basketball is kind of like SEC baseball. You're going to run into a bunch of great teams.
yeah, but and the last 7 games for the girls here, they play 5 ranked teams. You got Ole Miss, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and then you end the season at Vandy and then home versus Texas. So it's
That's a
yeah,
that's a
it's a
yeah,
rough
that's a
with
mountain.
Texas
Mountain.
A&M and Florida sprinkled in there too, the bottom dwellers in the
Gotta
conference.
gotta
Yeah,
definitely win. But yeah, man, oof.
must win games there. Yeah, and the guys, like we said, big week. You got the SEC leaders coming to town. Then you go to your arch rival, uh, and then next week a little bit better with Ole Miss and South Carolina on the horizon before a strong finish for the guys as well. But yeah, just handle business this week and get back on track.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, they just the thing. Yeah, that's the thing is that when Nate said it, you talked about brought up today. Does anybody care enough that it stings, hurts, that they got it slaughtered by Florida? Does it turn on anybody's? Do you wanna do
Yeah,
you wanna win?
do you want to go out there and smack A&M around and prove that like
Yeah,
you are still a
a
force to be
decent team.
reckoned with
Because we
in the
got a lot of
SEC? Yeah.
talent there. It's a matter of, yeah.
And
So,
it's not going to be obviously they're SEC leaders. Not only that, but they're a 17-4 team, 7-1 in conference, and they're not ranked. So
yeah,
they're going to be pissed about that.
yeah, that's crazy. They're not ranked yet.
Yeah. So they got something to prove as well. And if you're looking at
Ooh,
Alabama, you're 3-3 in your last 6. So
yeah,
time to make a run here toward the as we get into
yeah,
February now.
absolutely,
But yeah, let's
absolutely.
move on. Royal Rumble happened on Saturday, of course, Saturday afternoon, live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We had the women's match, the guys' match, the Gunther versus AJ Styles retirement match.
Uh,
Had the title match between Drew and Sami Zayn. Anything else I'm missing? I don't feel like it. Might have
yeah,
zoned
that's
out
pretty
there.
much it.
But overall, yeah, let's talk about the Rumble matches, of course. It's the big thing. But
Eh,
It, yeah, it was kind of a disappointing pay per
Eh,
view to me.
First of all, what was up with the crowd?
It
Why was there so
was
many empty spots and it looked
it,
terrible?
it was a weird empty spot. They had the LED effect in the crowd, so it either made it look empty or it was empty, or they were late arriving. Either they weren't there for the women's Rumble match that kicked off the show, or they just did not care about it. The crowd was so dead for the girls, which
Mm.
I thought actually of the two Rumble
Dude,
matches was the better
that
one.
was a much better match.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I
I thought
liked, yeah, I like the choice of winner. I think Liv Morgan's a good choice there. I thought,
Betrayed Raquel. That was good.
yeah, yeah, the way they played it out, and of course, I think they had a little thing tonight on Raw too during
And I
Raquel's
think
title match.
Raquel's the man. I think she might win the title tonight. I haven't watched yet.
Oh
Might
well, I
get
won't
caught up to
spoil it.
this.
I won't spoil
Um,
it for you then. But it it's yeah, it's interesting that they're setting up. I think they did a good job. Brie, you had Brie Bella's return. That was a big
uh,
a
I
moment.
got a big pop.
Yeah, it did. But yeah, overall, it was like I said, I did think the girls match was better. The guys match, it just felt so rushed. In fact, I think I
Yeah.
actually saw a stat where
Dude,
who
like
who was it, number one or two, that it was
I
one of
mean,
they were in there longer than the men's rumble lasted.
no, wow.
Uh, but the guys match felt rushed. Like it seemed like guys were coming out like
They
every
took
20
Braun
seconds.
Breaker. They took Braun Breaker out to start.
Yeah,
I mean, they
after
had,
hyping up Braun Breaker like he was going to have this big thing that the masked guy, who might be Seth Rollins, who knows, takes him out. And it was just weird for me to do that, and they feed him to Obafemi, star making performance there. That was probably the highlight of
dude,
the men's
him and
rumble.
yeah, him and Last Legend, boy,
Oh yeah,
they had
yeah.
a day.
She had a great women's rumble.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way that you could have stretched it out, let Braun look like a beast for a little bit, and then had someone come and take him out. It just felt weird. They kind of missed some story things. You had Brock Lesnar in the match, and then he gets eliminated
Dude,
during the
during Jay Uso's coming
entrance.
down,
Yeah,
so
the whole, which took forever compared to all the other ones.
the Jay
Yeah,
like, what? It's not the right time for that.
yeah, man.
Oh, man.
But then you eliminate Brock before Roman comes out. Of course, they're classic
Yeah.
matches, and
Well,
we know we're not going to see another Brock Roman anytime soon. But you still got to
yeah, we
tease that.
got him.
That's what the Rumble's for. Those moments where you're like, oh, look at these old
Absolutely.
rivals. Yeah.
Because what was the point of, or what is, why do you bring Brock back to have him get eliminated like with no issue? Like
Yeah,
what?
right, or not by a big guy or something, And then
Yeah.
we saw the debut of Powerhouse Hobbs from AEW, now branded as Royce Keys, and
Yeah.
I
It
thought
still
it
said
was,
Hobbs on the screen.
yeah, it did. It said Powerhouse Hobbs, and then it switched over to his new name. So I think that
Yeah.
was kind of cool. I think that's a good idea to get recognition, But
Yeah.
I also thought they didn't really give him enough of a spot. He could have had another couple big, eliminations before he got
Yeah.
tossed.
Yeah.
But they did, like I said, they made Obafemi the ruler. They made him look like a star, and he is. That's probably a future world title holder there. Dude's a
The
beast.
former Alabama Crimson Tide.
Exactly. Yeah, I actually did not know that.
In
Or if I did, I'd forgotten it. But yeah, saw a post that someone made.
the track.
Yeah, big track guy. But yeah, so yeah, hopefully come out of that. You had the AJ Styles. He did indeed get retired by Gunther.
But the interesting thing about that, someone I talked to pointed it out. I wasn't really, like you take off your stuff and leave it in the ring. He
Mm-hmm.
kept his stuff, his gloves, and also it sounds like he's probably going to AEW.
I about to say he did a weird thing where he took off his gloves and then put them back on or whatever.
Yeah,
And so yeah, there's a lot of speculation. Is he going to do like a TNA run, where he really blew up? Yeah, is he going
yeah,
to hop over to AEW, which so we've seen so many of these older WWE guys do to have some dream matches. which yeah, there's certainly some great matches out there for him to have.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I've also read some stuff where like Triple H is saying they were kind of surprised, but AJ they thought it'd be more toward the end of the year. They knew it was his last
Yeah.
year, but he just kind of got to the point and he's like, yeah, I'm done. Uh,
Maybe he
yeah,
saw how the John Cena storylines played out and
I'm
didn't
about
like
saying
it.
yeah, didn't want any part of that. Yeah, so who knows? A good match ends the same way and gives
At
Gunther
at
another
least he went
pelt.
to at least he went to sleep and he didn't tap out.
Yeah, right. Like he fought hard and he had to pass out.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, same Zayn, good match, nothing spectacular, but Drew retains.
Yeah, I mean that could have been a Monday. I don't know. That could have been a Monday Night Raw match or a SmackDown match. I don't know. I mean, it was decent, but I don't know.
But yeah, and then of course, so you had Liv in the women's rumble, and then Roman Reigns
Roman Reigns.
wins the men's, gets his a second rumble title.
Yeah,
Of
joins
course,
the
joins the elite class. Of course, his first one didn't go over well with the fans. That Philadelphia one where he was booed after the win.
yeah.
But yeah, what do you think about what do you think about like Roman being the victor there? You think it sets up something interesting?
I think it does. Of course, he threw out Jay, so I mean, now it's
Hmm.
another one, kind of like on the women's side. People. I mean, we'll see if that has anything to do, but I think it is a good. I wasn't expecting him to win, honestly, but I mean, but I think if he, I think you definitely want to see him versus CM Punk. I think that's a match you want to see more than him and Drew. I mean, we've seen Drew, last couple of years. We saw that match, Chicago, when that's the first time we saw Solo Sikoa, I believe, for real.
Yeah.
Because remember they wouldn't let the bloodline come out, and then he came out the crowd and hit him with the spike. And we're like, who is? Oh my God, it's Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, that was his main roster debut. Yeah. But yeah, just like we said, the Rumble match itself felt rushed. It felt like they didn't make a big
Yeah,
enough deal out of things. Jacob
I don't.
Fatu was kind of like, bleh.
I just did not. I was. It was on for the Royal Rumble. It was a very underwhelming event.
Yeah, the crowd was weird. The time's weird. Um,
Dude, I don't know. Like honestly, I don't know. The Saudi Arabia crowd is not that great to me. Like some people say it's great. I don't.
I
I
don't
don't.
know,
I think
man.
it's kind
And
of dead. And
then the big rumors that Mania is going to be there next year. So
I don't like that at all.
no, yeah, that's going to be. Hmm. It's gonna be
Um, I
interesting. I
don't
mean, just do your special, do
because
your crown jewel events there or whatever.
yeah.
I don't,
I mean
yeah,
that's fine. Give them
yeah.
some PLE that's not.
Hmm.
And I realize that they're probably getting a shitload of money for going there because
Oh
that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
they get events over there. But honestly, recently, I don't know. I feel like we have lot more misses than hits as far as what they're doing at PLEs.
Hmm.
Like, and I think some of it is just with T was it T?
TKO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I I think they have a lot of stuff that they want to see happen, and they try to. I don't know, and it's not organically. It's not done in the right way, so it doesn't fit.
Yeah,
I
it's very weird. A lot of people, and myself included, very excited when Triple H took over, because
see,
of
it was great. It started well,
it did, and because of how his run with NXT went, and because he was so good at that old school long term storytelling, and really made things felt big because that you built that emotional connection. Like when
right?
wrestling's at its best.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so yeah, it
I
was,
don't,
overall it was a
I don't know.
disappointing event.
Right? I do like at least that some of the young talent really shined at the Royal Rumble. So
Yeah,
I did like that.
They did do a good job
You
of
know,
that. Yeah, they got some
they
people up
did
from
a good job at
NFCs.
that because I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
Sol
as we get
Ruka had
older,
herself a good showing in the
yeah, hell of
yeah.
a, yeah, absolutely.
Um,
And I like that because I mean, obviously, you know, eventually we're gonna have a bunch of people that we did not grow up with.
yeah, right, yeah.
The
Um,
people that we know, you know, the AJ Styles of the world and all that is, and then, but you know, the other thing too is with you know, Gunther coming the thing and he threw out Randy. I think that's going to be the next thing where
mm,
they might have another retirement match. You know,
mm.
with Gunther and Randy Orton. Um, you know, kind of at the end of Randy's career. And if you know if Gunther wins that, then he pretty much took out the whole O2 class
I was
by
about to say, yeah,
himself.
man. He would just need Lesnar, and then he,
Yeah,
have this whole generation of guys he took out, man. Uh,
yeah. And I love the role that he's playing right now.
oh, I think
Kind
it's
of,
great. Yeah, it's great, perfect guy
he
for
was
it.
my bitch. Oh, so hilarious. Because it's funny, like for certain people, man, certain fans forget that it's all staged, and you know,
Mm,
like when John Cena tapped, like people were really pissed, like it wasn't predetermined.
mm,
Like certain things get really people emotional, man.
mm-hmm.
So and he plays well into that whole. I just beat the hell out your superstar.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man,
yeah. No,
I love
that's and it's such a good gimmick, because we saw it about 20 years ago when we were in school, and Randy Orton coming up, and he had his Legend Killer gimmick, and
yeah,
he wasn't retiring, but yeah, he was hitting his RKO on these old
yeah,
guys. Anybody, of course, that Raw we were at where he hit Stacy Keebler, and
yeah.
man, that
That
old
guy in
man,
front of us.
that old man in front of us was pissed about it.
Yeah.
Damn.
You don't do that to no woman.
Yeah, yeah. Snatched the sign from his kid or grandson,
Yeah,
whoever he had with him. It was just
yeah,
damn.
not weird.
Um,
But yeah, definitely there's been a change in Raw in WWE about that big.
hmm
Women used to get thrown through any.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we had you know, Mae Young getting thrown through tables at 80.
It's just crazy, just crazy.
And we didn't think anything of it. We're like, oh, okay, it's just another day, you know. That was the funniest part. Like we were so used to stuff happening. Like now, if a woman got thrown through a table, boy, that would be that'd be everywhere. Every time I shut it down.
Oh man, it'd be crazy. Which is funny because then you got like the other side of the wrestling internet, which is like let them fight each other. If you watched Lucha Underground,
Yeah,
and then a lot of the independent scenes, it doesn't matter. Hell, look up even some WWE stars right now. Look up Candice LeRae's indie stuff, man. She did not care. That girl's in like death
yeah,
matches against dudes, bleeding.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no,
Absolutely,
it's funny. Yeah, it was a different time, man, for sure. I always love those
definitely.
stories about Mae Young, basically like telling Bubba Ray Dudley, like, put some muscle in it. Like, if you're gonna do it,
Yeah,
do it. Like,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he's out there like
hilarious.
he's afraid to do it. To her. He's like, I don't want to kill her, and she's like, do it,
Oh,
pussy.
she's like
Yeah,
85.
yeah, right. But yeah,
You pussy.
but yeah. So yeah, this Rumble will not go down, and
Eh,
not be in the conversation for best ones ever.
no,
But
it's
at least,
not
like you
even that.
said, if you pull some positives, it did showcase a lot of young guys. Like
Yeah.
Oba Femi, like we said, Sol Ruka on
Javon
the
Evans
women's
has some
side.
decent stuff.
Oh, Javon Evans. Yeah, we haven't talked about him, man. That boy is bouncy, as his song says. He looked great. He was the Iron Man of the match too. He looked really good.
Yeah,
Um, Over on the women's side, like we said, Sol Ruka got a good run out. A lot of those NXT
absolutely.
girls got JC Jane. She got a good run out. So yeah, I think Liv Morgan was a good choice to win over the women's side. I'm interested to see, like you said, Roman versus CM Punk. That's a big one.
Yeah,
So we'll
absolutely.
see how that goes. But
And
that
then
is
we'll
it.
see what next thing is what elimination chamber. So we'll see who
Yeah,
works out
exactly.
there.
A lot can change. But next is uh I mean that's sorry, that's it for my notes. Do you have anything from the world of sports you want to touch on before we go?
You know, well, my daughter's excited for the Winter Olympics.
Mm.
She loves the Olympic stuff. I watch it just because you know you see some cool stuff with the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
just because
Uh,
slaloms.
yeah, no,
I'm
skiing.
more
Yeah,
I'm
some of
more
the
looking at the wipeouts.
athletic feats. Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, there's some cool stuff.
But
Ski jump, like
yeah, there's some cool stuff that you never even think about. But
curling. The biggest drinking game to become an Olympic sport.
hell yeah,
Hockey, first time NHL players are in it in a while.
that'd be some
So yeah, that should be a return to there's some really great Olympics back in the day when they started
absolutely,
having those NHL players.
absolutely.
So yeah, I got that on the horizon. Which when
Yeah.
is that? Opening ceremony this week? Next week?
Friday, yeah,
Friday. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Friday the 6th. It's gonna be a big week for NBC. They have the Olympics, the Super Bowl. They're
Oh
really
man.
racking up in the month of
Yeah.
February.
Yeah. Racking it up. But yeah. All right. Well. Look at that. An hour. How about that?
That's
Uh,
really good.
yeah, pretty good for us. So we'll be back next week. Of course, we'll talk Super Bowl, obviously. Whatever
Yeah.
happens in Bama hoops, NBA trade deadline, of course. Anything else that pops up. Thank you as always, y'all, for listening. Check out subscribe, rate, like. I should just record this honestly and tack it on at the end. uh,
So it's
yeah,
consistent every time.
subscribe, rate, like us, do whatever on your podcast platform of choice. Check out the alabamatech.com. Like we said, 2 new podcasts coming up. Keep your eyes on open for them. And of course, taking it down, the guys always talking TV for us. Follow us on the socials, Taking on Sports. Check out Greg on Bama Hammer. Should see. Tell your friends about us. Tell your rich friends about us, of course, as always. And keep it done up real good yourselves out there, folks. Stay warm if you're in some of these colder climates with these winter storms rolling through still.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to get another cold week in here coming up. I think we're supposed to start getting rain tomorrow, so that's always fun.
Huh.
But yeah, and other than that, everybody keep it done up real good. And Greg, buddy, I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.